Fifth grade into math, lesson 9.4. Apply fraction multiplication to find area. I can solve multiplication problems with fractions and mixed numbers to find the area of rectangles. Step it out. Tony hangs a plaque that is 5.5 inches wide and 8.5 inches long. How much wall space does the plaque cover? So write an equation to model the problem using fractions greater than 1. So let's identify first what we need to use. So 5.5 inches and 8.5 inches. So first of all, what is our original equation going to look like? 5.5 times 8.5. Okay, which they want us to have fractions that are greater than 1. So basically, we need to make them into, what do we call them? Improper fractions. So we'd have our little multiplication plus sign, multiplication plus sign. Okay, so 2 times 5 is, plus 1 is, so it'd be 11 halves times 2 times 8 is, plus 1 is, so 17 halves. And then that is going to get us, we want to know how much wall space the plaque covers. So that will equal our wall space, right? Find the product from A. What does this product represent? So it's going to represent, what did we just say? How much wall space is covered? Okay, so they want us to find the answer. So 11 halves times 17 halves. Okay, can I simplify before I start? No, right? Okay, so 7 times 1 is 7. So let's do 11 times 17, right? Okay, so 7, 7, 0, 1, 1, right? Okay, so 7, 8, 1. Guys, remember, if I'm doing that, you're doing that to show some work. So it'd be 187, what? Over 4. So I'm going to take 187 divided by 4. So 4 goes into 18 how many times? 4 times. Minus 16. 18 minus 16 is 2. Bring down the 7. 27 divided by 4 is 6. Okay, 6 times 4 is 24. So 3 left over. So then I write that as a fraction, right? So 46 and 3/4. So 46 and 3/4 what? Inches squared. Okay, how much wall space does the plaque cover? So what do we say? 46 and 3/4 inches squared. So technically for B, they just wanted the 187 over 4. So we were just a step ahead. That's okay. What units did you use in your answer in part C? So what units did we use? We used inches, right? And then we squared it because we found the area. Okay, so we used square inches. Whoops, because we were finding the area. Now, sometimes we multiply out fractions, right, guys? But we're not necessarily finding the area. We're just finding like a part or something like that, right? Okay, so in those cases, would we use square? No. Okay, so it all depends on the question or the equation. Number 2, Emma works to clean paintings that have been covered with dust and dirt. She must work very slowly to protect the paint. Last week, she cleaned a painting that has an area of 1 1/3 square yards. This week, she cleans a painting that has an area of 1/16 the area of the first painting. What is the area of the painting that she cleans this week? So we have 1 1/3 square yards. The area of the next one is only a 16th of the first painting. And then they want to know what the area of the painting that she cleans is this week. Now, okay, so the first painting was the 1 1/3, right? And the next one is only 1/16 of it. So is our fraction going to get smaller, larger, or equal to? Smaller, because 1/16 is what? Less than 1. Okay. So write an equation to model the problem. So we're going to take what? 1 1/3 times 1/16. Okay. And then I need to convert that, right? Okay. So what is 4/3, right? Becomes 4/3 times 1/16. Okay. Solve the equation to find the area. So we want 4/3 times 1/16. Can I simplify before I go on? Yes. So 4 goes into 4 one time. 4 goes into 16 4 times. So 1/12. And then what's my label? Square yards. Or yards squared, right? Because this is actually area, so we need the square part, right? Is your answer reasonable? How do you know? So yes, because 1/16 is less than 1. Therefore, our answer of 1/16 was less than 1 1/3. Check understanding. Martina builds a pen for rabbits. The pen measures 3 2/3 feet by 4 1/2 feet. What is the area of the pen? So here's our dimensions. And then what is the area? So what do we need to do with those mixed numbers? We can't multiply them just like that. We can't take 3 times 4 and then 2/3 times 1/2. You cannot do that. Okay? So we need to make them into improper fractions. So 3 2/3 becomes what? 11/3 times 4 1/2 becomes what? 9/2. Okay, can we simplify before we start? Yep. So the 3 and the 9, right? 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into 9 3 times. 11 times 3 is 33. 1 times 2 is 2. So how many times does 2 go into 33? 16 times, right? Because 16 times 2 is 32. So 33 minus 32 is 1. And then we keep our same denominator. So 16 1/2 feet squared, or you could write it as 16 1/2 square feet, right? Okay. All right, next one, write an equation to model the area of the rectangle and then find the area. So what would our equation be? Okay, can I simplify before I go on? Nope. So 3/16. And then what's my label? Yards squared. Okay, next one. My original equation would be 3/4 times 2 1/5. Then I need to make that into what? Improper fraction. So 3/4 times 5 times 2 is 10 plus 1 is 11. So 11/5. So can I simplify before I go on? Nope. So 3 times 11 is 33. 4 times 5 is 20. 33 divided by 20. 1 time. So 1. And then 1 times 20 is what? 20. And then 30. Oh, no. Sorry. So 1 and 13/20, right? And then feet. All right, on your own, number 4, the area of a bathroom is 40 square feet. The area of another room is 2 3/4 times as great as the area of the bathroom. What is the area of the other room? So we have 40 feet. The other area is 2 3/4 times greater, and they want to know what the area of the other room. So we're looking at the 2 3/4. Is that greater than, equal to, or less than 1? Greater than. So is our number going to be Smaller, bigger, or equal to 40? Bigger, right? Okay, since this is greater than 1, our answer will be greater than 40, right? Okay, so our original equation is going to be what? 2 3/4 times what? 40. Okay, so then that becomes what? 11/4 times 40 over 1. Can I simplify before I start? Yep. So 4 goes into 4 once. 4 goes into 40 10 times. So 11 times 10 is what? 110 over 1. So that equals what? 110 feet squared. Okay. Next one, find the area of the rectangle. So our original equation would be 5 1/2 times 3 2/3, right? Okay, we cannot multiply mixed numbers, so we have to make them into what? Improper fractions. So 2 times 5 is, plus 1 is, so 11 halves times 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 is, so 11 ninths. Can I simplify? No. Oh, yep, 11 thirds. Sorry, mixed that up. So what is 11 times 11? 121 over 6. So 6 goes into 12 how many times? 2. 6 goes into 1 how many times? 0. So you would have 1 left over, right? So 20 1/6 what? Miles squared. All right, so number 6, our original equation will be 2 1/2 times 5. Okay, so 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is, so 5 halves times what? 5 over 1. Can I simplify? Nope. So 5 times 5 is 25. 2 times 1 is 2. So 25 divided by 2 is 12. 12 times 2 is what? 24. So you'd have 1 left over and over 2. So 12 1/2 inches squared. Number 7, Kyra cuts a rectangular piece of wood to make a desktop that is 5 1/2 feet long and 3 1/8 feet wide. What is the area of the desktop? Write an equation to model. So right here, and then what is the area of the desktop? So our equation will be in our work, right? So what's our original equation? 5 1/2 times 3 1/8, right? Okay, so 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11, so 11 halves times 8 times 3 is, plus 1 is, I simplify before I start? Nope. So 25 over 11, or 25 times 11, so 5, 2, 5, 2, so 5, 7, 2. So 275 over 16, right? So 275 divided by 16. 16 goes into 27 once, minus 16, so 11 left over, bring down the 5. How many times does 16 go into 115? So let's try 7. So 6 times 7 is, so put the 2, carry the 4. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 4 is 11. So 3 left over. So our answer is 17 3/16. Can I simplify that? Nope, that's it. So 17 3/16 feet squared.